everybody, this is Cinco coming to you let's see, it's April 13th, 2025 from the Cinco Doggos Ranch out here in Texas. And you'll have to forgive me, I'm going to apologize up front. First of all, my allergies are kicking today, so if you see me reach over and grab a drink while we're doing this, can't help it, need to get some ice water in me. My eyes are just going nuts. The pollen is crazy here right now in my part of Texas, and it's just tearing me up. So I'm all I'm all allergy pilled up, but it's still hitting me pretty hard. Also, you'll hear the probably hear my fans going in the background for all my little miners that I got here in the office. While we are doing the remodel on the house, I have a lot of things on like temporary shelves behind me and next to me. So and you could see, I don't know if you could see behind me too well, but like the floor, like I don't even have solid flooring in this room right now. It's just a concrete slab. You can see, my dog beds and stuff for all the dogs that live in the house with us. But we're just getting a total remodel done here, and it's going room by room, and this is definitely not a priority room, so forgive the mess, okay? So I apologize for that. But anyway, just want to try to make this video shorter than the last one. My last one was like 45 minutes long. This one's going to probably be about 12 to 15 minutes. But we are going to be talking about a new acquisition we have, and something that is a very important part of being a solo miner, and that is I got my Umbrel Node up and running. So really happy about that, and super excited to kind of just show you guys some things about this. This is not going to be like an in-depth setup guide. You really don't even need one. It's that simple to use. It's a really cool little item, little mini PC. It's tiny, guys. It's like the size of like a large wallet. It's really not big at all. It's really not big at all. I've eaten hamburgers bigger than the Umbrel Node in the box it comes in, and it's super lightweight and slick. And I'm going to pull it up here on their website here in a moment and just let you guys take a look at it. But I do recommend it. Just so you know, this video is not sponsored by anyone. I did not receive this item free. I purchased it with my own fiat that I earned through my daily job. This is not something that anyone is paying me for. I do not get referral fees off of any of this. I'm just doing it because it's a good item and I enjoy it, and I want to make sure other people know about it as well. So we'll just go over here real quick, and we're going to put in Umbrel. Let me see here, Umbrel Node. I'll just put it in there so I'll show you what it comes up here. So umbrel.com, and this is it. You can see that's a great scale of it right there. $429 US dollars for this item, and it says plug and play home cloud, and it really is, guys. It is super. I plugged it in. It came with the power cord. It came with the an Ethernet cable. I set it up over here in the corner for its temporary home. Plugged it right in, started it up, and logged right into there, and it was ready to go. Now, of course, these items were not there. I put those on. We'll go over that in a minute. But so I bought this from Umbrel. Why did I choose Umbrel? Because some very trusted friends of mine use Umbrel, and they really love their Umbrel nodes. So I decided I'll go with that. I trust my friends, I trust my colleagues, and they know what they're talking about better than I do. So I said, okay, I'm going to go with your recommendation. Some people have said, oh, you should have went with Start 9. Start 9 is apparently an amazing node. Okay, amazing node. And he does a lot. The guy who runs Start 9, he does a lot of stuff for the Bitcoin community as well. So this is not saying that one is better than the other. Just the two things for me: number one, recommended by friends, and number two, the price point was right for me. For the Start 9, it is a higher price. I wasn't ready to make that jump because I wasn't sure how much I'd be using the node. Now I know I'm going to be using this node a lot, so I may actually end up getting a Start 9 in the future, and I'll either send an Umbrel to my daughter in college and let her use that as her node, or I'll send her the Start 9 and let her use that one, and I'll keep my Umbrel. But I am super, super happy with the Umbrel already. I've had it up for a little over a week, and it's running great. So let's talk about some of the cool features for it. So first off, it does have a 2 terabyte SSD on it. Okay, that's good. That is the recommended for if you're going to run a Bitcoin node. You should have 2 terabyte SSD on there. I'm also going to be getting another 2 terabyte external SSD that I can plug right into this. Plugs right in through the ports on the side. They're like $100 on Amazon right now. So I'm going to get a second one to put it on there because I do plan on using this Umbrel node for more than just being a Bitcoin node. So, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit when we get into the apps in the app marketplace. So I do want to expand on it a bit. It has 16 gig of RAM. Again, plug and play, like it says here. You just push the button, make sure it's all plugged into your Ethernet and plugged into the wall socket, and away it goes. And it's got a good Intel chip in there, so going fine. It has the Umbrel OS, the Umbrel iOS pre-installed on it for you. I loaded it up. It asked if I wanted to do a firmware update before I installed anything. Of course I said yes. I updated to the most recent version of their firmware, and I was good to go. So it got to me. I ordered it. It took about 7 or 8 days to get to me. Came in a nice discreet package. Everything was fine. It has a sharp little box, and I think I've already moved that box to storage. Sorry. I'm trying to keep things as tidy as I can in here, which is hard, but yeah, I've already moved that box to storage. And oh, no, I didn't. I did not. I'm lying to you guys. So, came with a cool little box that it came in, and yeah, very simple, very sleek, elegant, looks nice on a shelf. People wouldn't even know what this is in your house. You can pretty much put this anywhere, and I don't think anyone would even know what it is. It wouldn't even be a topic of conversation sitting somewhere on a shelf. Nobody would be like, "What's that?" And that's actually a cool thing. Like that's its job, is to just be over there in the background doing amazing things for you and for the Bitcoin network. So now that we looked at that, let's go ahead to the home screen. There you go. It says, "Good morning, Joseph." So. First thing I did when I came in here, there was nothing on here. I went to the little app store, their little marketplace, and I was just kind of looking through it. Bitcoin Node was on there, and I did initially start loading that on, and then somebody was like, no, Cinco, you're supposed to put Bitcoin Knots on there. And I was like, oh, that's right. So I went ahead and looked for that, and I'll show that in a minute. So I stopped that, and I put Bitcoin Knots on. It took about a day and a half to load through my Ethernet, through a wired connection, and so I just let it run overnight, do its thing, and it synced up, and it was fine. It was literally click the button and away it went, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. But there's a little TikTok next block spot, so you can go in here and just, this is the focused apps that are for Bitcoiners, okay? So Bitcoin Knots is on there. So here it is, running on my system. So I went ahead, I set it up. I did make sure that I have specific ports open for it so I can keep it on all the time. I did toggle with the settings on it as well to make sure that it's up and running at all times. So that way it is part of the network and supporting the network. It's just not an anonymous node. That's a completely different video that I'm not going to do right now, like port forwarding and opening ports and all that. That's a completely different video, but needless to say, there are people that are much more eloquent and smarter than I am on YouTube that can show you how to do it for your specific modem router and get you set up with that. It took me about, and I'm dumb, guys. I'm a dumb brick. So it took me about 2 hours to get everything all up and running properly, and I did make a couple mistakes, and then once I figured it out, and I was like, oh, okay, then I was able to just do it with no problem. It like kind of clicked. So most of you guys will probably get it in 10 minutes if you don't know how to do all that already. For me, it took 2 hours, but like I said, I'm kind of a dumbass, so it took me a little bit more time. But this just goes. And you know what? This is weird, but this is kind of cathartic. Sometimes I'll just keep this up in the background while I'm working my day job behind me on the other screens. And I'll just, turn around once in a while and notice that, the blocks are syncing and Bitcoin is doing its thing over here. And I just like to see it. The other thing I did put on here is mempool. A little more visualization of it, of the network and what's going on with the blocks. I do enjoy that. One of the things I'll do every morning is I will hop on my phone when I'm doing my morning routines, and I will look at, and I'm connected right to my Umbrel with my phone, so I can go ahead and look at and see what blocks hit to see if any solo miners hit overnight, things like that. And I just I like to keep track of it, see who's hitting what, see how much money is changing hands in fees as it builds the blocks. So there's just some cool stuff. I'm learning a lot about the how the sausage is made with Bitcoin, and I'm glad for that, because I want to understand every aspect of it. If this is going to be what I want for my store of value and what I think should be the main currency moving forward on this planet, I want to be able to understand it down to this level. So I'm enjoying it. The more I look at these things, the more I look at the different charts and such, I start Googling things, I start looking things up, and I start figuring things out. And it's interesting, and it's fun, and it is enjoyable. So anyway, if you're a numbers person, you're going to get a kick out of this. If you're a stats person, you're going to get a kick out of this. So we talked about Bitcoin Knots, which you need on there to run your own node. This is the node itself. Then so this is doing the verify with no trust, 100% verify, 0% trust. It's doing that right now on the network. I have a mempool so I can see things on here. Love this little app. And then, of course, one of the most important things is running my own instance of public pool. Now, I have on here I'm currently running, I've got 4 Bidax Gammas. I've got an Avalon Nano 3. I've got a white edition Supra, and I've got 2 Nerd Miner Minis running on this. And I'm about to add 3 more minis that I built. So I just have to flash them and get them all set up. And I know they don't do much, but I enjoy it. I'm learning how to build these things, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm building them, putting them on there, and then I'll probably give them away to people at some point. Like, here, have a mini. Get involved in lottery Bitcoin mining. So everything on my public pool that I have, my version of the public pool, is obviously doing its thing. Oh, look, it's now saying undefined. It didn't say that yesterday. I guess we've jumped up in the network hash rate. So let's go ahead. All right. So it tells you your block height, everything that you see on public pool usually, right? Settings, there's never anything in settings other than if you want those little squiggly lines in the background, okay? But this allows me to see, what's the highest difficulty I've reached. I hit a 6.78 billion on, where is it? I forget which one it was. It was one of my gammas. I think it was my pleb source gamma, as a matter of fact, that hit that one. But anyway, yeah, got that up and running. That was super simple to do, and then all I had to do once I set that up was I made sure that I had the correct ports open, and I went in here. Since this is hardwired into the system, I did go into my options. Is that options? It is. Okay. I went in here and I made it, I told my system I also want it to be part of my Wi-Fi network as well as my wired, and then it just found all my, the AXOS found everything, and it started doing its thing, and it found my miners, and away we went, right? So I just made sure, I had my wallet in there to receive and put everything up on there. It was super easy. It's no different than doing it on the actual public pool. So yeah, it's super simple. Why do I want to run my own node? Should have kind of gone into this in the beginning. A couple of reasons. Number one, decentralizing the network. That's a big deal. In order for someone to make changes to Bitcoin, they have to control or get agreement with 51% of the network, or 50.001 of the network. They have to have control of the network. So the more of us that have these nodes, the less likely that some malicious actor can come in and mess with things that we don't want them to mess with. So every node is adding a further layer of defense on top of that. So we all support each other by having these nodes up. Yes, you can go right to umbrel.com. You can download a copy of the Umbrel OS yourself and put it on your laptop. If you got like a laptop with 2 or whatever, your computer, that you got a spare 2 gigs of hard drive space, that you can go ahead and have that on there. 2 gigs is the recommended. You can put it on your system and go at it this way. I just happen to rather do it on here because I wanted it on a separate unit. So again, decentralizing the network. There's privacy aspects of this that are obviously key. Everything is going off of my stuff. I don't have to go through another third party to do things, and I prefer it that way. So privacy is key. If that's one of your main things, then definitely look into running your own node. I'm learning more about the Bitcoin ecosystem. I talked about that with mempool and setting up my own node, and I'm learning so much more about it, and that's a big deal to me. And self-sovereignty, right? So I would rather run these things myself than pay someone else to run it for me and also have them collecting my data. So the less I can do of that, the better. So there we go. I'm a DPIN guy. I like to decentralize. That's just kind of, this fits my personality. This little Umbrel Home Node fits my personality. So that's that in a nutshell. We're at almost at 15 minutes. I'm going to start wrapping it up now. So we went over the design features. We went over, again, I'm not running many things on here right now. I'm going to add more going back into here. Some of the cool things that I plan on adding. I'm going to put some of the ad blockers on here so I can block ads coming into my system. So we'll kind of use the Umbrel Node as a gateway for our devices here at home. I am going to install Datum on here. So because I'm currently running a Canon Avalon 1047. It's hashing at about 37 to 40 terahash. And that's my largest miner that I own, because again, I'm just a little home miner. And I just do that I have it on the ocean miner pool for, just getting some sats here and there. But you get 50% off your fees if you have a datum installed on there. So I'm going to do that too. That's coming up soon. And guys, it's that simple. Like, you click the button and it installs it on there for you. It's great. It's just like, your apps on your phone, your phone apps. So that's going to be coming up. I'm going to be putting a Lightning node on here as well, so that way I can have that up and running. And I've been looking at a couple other things on here. There's Albi, all these cool things with the Albi stuff. So I might be looking into that. People have been talking about that. I need to do more research on it before I put it on there. I'm not just going to start slapping apps on here if I don't know if I'm going to use them or whatever. But there it is. There's a bunch of cool stuff you can put on here. There's different types of UI viewers and whatnot, and cool little apps you can put on there. I also decided to open up a Noster profile, so I will have a backup for it on here. I think it's called, let me see here. So you just put it in here. Look. Put it on there. Snort. There we go. So I can back up all my Noster activity right on here as well. Just cool little things like that. There's all these cool little things you've got on it. Again, if you are not into dropping $429 right now on a node, you can put it on an old laptop. Just make sure you have, the hard drive space to do it. And again, 2 terabytes is the recommended. You want to keep it online all the time, or as much uptime as you can. You don't want to just, have it up once in a while. That does the network absolutely no good. You want your node running 24/7, 365 with a solid internet connection at all times. Okay, so that's kind of the whole point of it, right? So got that up and running. But I do want to talk to some people who are smarter than me to see if there's anything I can do with public pool to increase my chances of getting higher difficulties. That's something I need to explore as well. I don't know if there's any settings I can do in here to do that, but I know people say you can do things with Bitcoin Node on how you want your blocks built and whatnot. So, but I'm not going to mess with that until I'm smarter at it. So that's how that'll work. But 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10, however you want to say it. The Umbrel is a great device. Really loving it. And if you are on the fence about whether you should get one or not, if you can afford it, I'd say pull the trigger. Buy one. Drop into the umbrel.com, purchase one. They've got all these cool apps on there, like I've already talked about. There's tons of different stuff. It's not just for Bitcoin. Home automation, you've got your productivity stuff, of course, all the Bitcoin stuff. You can, save your movies and stuff on here so you can stream them right through your own network on your device. So file storage, that's another big one. My wife and I have been talking about starting to move all of our pictures that we put on our phone or that are in like the iCloud or whatever, putting it on our stuff. So, only we have access to it, and those that we allow to have access to it. So there's a lot of things you can do on here for decentralizing, for self-sovereignty, for all those cool buzzwords that we like to talk about in the community. But it's an Umbrel. It's cool. It's easy to set up. Like I said, guys, if I can do it, you can do it. It was a few clicks of a few buttons and then just making sure my ports were properly aligned, and it was done. Yeah, I say give it a shot. Look at how clean and simple this is. And then boom, I've got my own mempool. It's connecting off my own stuff. I've got my own public pool clone on here, and my own stuff is hashing that. So yeah, if I am lucky and hit a block, I also get to keep all the fees, right? Because it's on mine. So I'm not paying anybody any fees for using their network. It's on my own network. So yeah, cool stuff. I enjoy it. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm trying to put out a couple shorts a week, as well as one video a week. That's going to be like this, a little longer one, 15, 20 minutes. Hopefully I'll try to keep it to. But if you enjoyed it, here comes the obligatory like and subscribe. Please like the video. That helps me. Subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to do so. It helps me get more visibility. Share it out to your friends. Follow me on X. I am at Cinco Doggos. And yeah, hope to see you guys soon. And if you've got any questions, comments, whatever, drop them into the comments. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to find someone who does. I don't claim to be an oracle with all this stuff, but I'll do my best to help out. That's my goal, is to help out the community as much as possible. So yeah, have a good one.